Hey, what's up YouTube? Anjanson here on Shenana River, and my opponent is NB, Red Cross, HK, and whatever that weird symbol is. I'm not sure. If somebody knows what it is, please fill me in. And this was a really intense battle, probably one of the tougher battles I've had for the past few days. So I decided to go ahead and post it, even though my play was a little bit sloppy and, well, unfortunately quite a few places, but let me go pause this real quick so I can show you my army composition. Now for this fight I have 2 bow warrior monks. I also have 5 lone sword ashigaru, 1 matchlock warrior monk, 2 yari ashigaru, one of them's up here mixed in with my bows. I also have in this force right here 2 gray cards that are hidden, and I intended early on to keep them in that forest and save them kind of as a last minute reserve troop. And I also have 4 units of Yari Cav. We'll go down here, we'll look at what my opponent brought to this fight. You can see he has 2 units of Matchlock Warrior Monks. As well, he's got a unit of Onodachi and a unit of Katana Sams down here. He has 4 Lone Sword Ashigaru down here. 2 units of Naginata Warrior Monks. 2 units of Naginata Warrior Monk Cav. His melee general, very strong. And he also has a Naginata Warrior Monk back here as well. Wow, is he a bow general as well? I did not notice that during the fight. I did not see him using his bow at all. Strange. And that's my bad for not paying attention. Oh, he also has another Matchlock Warrior Monk back here as well. Forgot to mention that one. And originally I was going to set up on this side of the river, but then I saw him coming in my right flank. So I decided to go ahead and push my troops over here and fight him on this right side. Nothing sneaky, you know, not trying to hide any units beside those gray guards. So, why are these guys crawling? That looks so weird. Anyways, so you can see I'm getting my unit set up. And my first mistake, I'm going to go ahead and spacebar so you can see how I have my unit set up. I still have my archers, you know, sitting out in front, which is fine if there's not a lot going on in your battle and you can pull them back behind your infantry lines when the fight starts. But I should have realized that he didn't have any archers and preemptively went ahead and set those archers up here behind my infantry lines. So, you know, that kind of messed me up a little bit. I had to waste some time, you know, running my archers back. And, I don't know, less time shooting downrange is not good. So, I see he's going to go ahead and push these Matchlock Warrior Monks, you know, in his front. And right now I'm just waiting for him to start to try to bring him across the river, and I'm going to break off some Yari Cav. So you can see I sat here and repositioned these troops and I wasn't even thinking. You know, he did not have any archers. I should have just, oh well, what's done is done. That was my first mistake. So I seemed to be moving these matchlocks, so I decided to go ahead and break off 2 of my Yari Cav to go and intercept those matchlocks. And I mean, he's not stupid, he knows what I'm doing, so he's got some Naginata Warrior Monks coming up behind him. And fortunately for me, he turns and decides not to try and get a shot off. But I'm not too concerned about any of my Yari Cav. They're all stock units. I don't have any veteran upgrades or anything like that. In my opinion, they are all expendable. So, you know, they do what I set them out to do, and that's get rid of these matchlocks. So here you're going to see my folly. You know, I have my archers set up, but now I have my infantry lines, you know, all the way back here. And that's a huge gap to close. I'm not going to be able to close it in enough time. So, you know, since I'm blundering about trying to get this infantry moved up, you know, I wasn't paying attention to my Matchlock Warrior Monks either, and they're going to get tangled up in this melee a little bit. Well, fortunately I realized, and I end up pulling them back. So I decided to go ahead and send these Yari Cav, you know, in that break and hit his other Matchlock Warrior Monks. And that's when I made my second mistake. I got tangled up in this melee and they circled around on their own and went back into this fight, and now they're going to take a rear charge from some Warrior Monk Cav. So that was a lot of time I wasted that I could have been taking out that Matchlock unit. But fortunately one of my lone swords gets through and they go ahead and get the job done. So you can see 3 of those lone sword Ashigaru units are routing, and See, I'm repositioning my matchlocks over here, so I see him coming from my right flank now, and over here he has the Katana Samurai and the Nodachi, plus a Naginata Warrior Monk. They are definitely a lot stronger than, you know, my lone sword units I have down here. Granted, they do have, you know, quite a few upgrades, but not nearly enough. Fortunately though, they do have these matchlocks backing them up. So you can see I managed to reposition my infantry, and now I'm repositioning these Yari Ashigaru spear walls and trying to get them out in front of my infantry. I went ahead and pushed that other unit of Yari Cav through and tried to take out another one of his matchlock units, but he got tangled up in melee, and you can see right here he managed to push them guys through and into the forest. So I decided, you know, whatever, I'll leave these guys down here, they're expendable, and yeah, actually it worked out in my favor. It kept, you know, these remaining infantry units down here busy and not engaging my weakened and chaotic infantry. So you can see two of those Lone Sword Ashigaras actually came back from routing, which is pretty annoying. I absolutely hate it when that happens. And I tried to charge this Lone Sword Ashigaru foolishly into his matchlocks, which is never a good idea. So now I see him advancing the rest of these units, and I decide I need to go ahead and reform my infantry lines. These Lone Sword, or these Yari Ashigaru are going to hold up much longer with those matchlocks firing at them. So that's exactly what I do, and you guys missed this part. Actually, I busted out my Grey Guard because one of his Lone Swords got through, no, his Katana Samurai got through, and was about to engage my matchlocks again. So I had to get those Grey Guards out to support my matchlocks and keep them safe. I mean, when you're looking at 10-star battles, they're all about the matchlocks. And I see this exposed matchlock unit, and I decide I'm going to go ahead and try to engage it with my cav. And after that initial volley, I should have probably just pushed on through and went ahead and engaged them. But I didn't. I ended up pulling him back in these trees. I was going to try to, I guess, sneak around and get a flank. I'm not sure. But I see how close he brings his general, and I decided to go ahead and bring my matchlock unit up and try to get some shots off on this general. Meanwhile, I have my other archers engaging these matchlocks. But I do finally manage to get one of my Great Guards through and hit these matchlocks. But you can see right here, I've got two almost dead units of Lone Sword Ashigaru trying to hold off a Nodachi that's bonsai'd and a Naginata Warrior Monk. And his general moves, and my stupid matchlock Warrior Monks move forward, and instead of, you know, dodging the melee, they just run right into it. So now I'm trying to pull them back again. And I decided to take out my Great Guard units from engaging his general and get a rear charge on his infantry. His general is actually full melee general, so he could have done some piecemeal work to my Great Guards, but I just needed to hold those infantry lines and once again try to save my matchlocks, which are now reforming. And I see he busts out a full fresh unit of Naginata Monk Cav. I have no idea where those guys even came from. I should probably watch the replay and try to keep track of those guys and see how exactly that happened to slip by me. But you see down here, my matchlocks actually did get lucky and did take out his general, but I'm still contending with high morale units. Look at this Naginata Warrior Monk, 17 morale. So killing the general isn't really going to just devastate this guy's morale. It helps a little bit. But I see him sending this Monk Cav up here to hit my general. By the time he gets here, he only has, what, like 14 units or something left. And Chesty Puller, you can see he's ready. He sees it coming, and they brace for the charge. And look at him, he isn't even sitting on the stool. He's got his sword out, he's ready. And, I mean, it looks like he just got his ass reamed by that horse. Nope, pops back up and starts swinging that katana around like a boss. So, you can see him, and wow. He's pretty epic. And then my Great Guard come into the rescue. And I take down what's left of those Warrior Monk Cav. And now we just gotta contend with these Naginata Samurais. Or these Naginata Warrior Monks, which I'm not too worried. I've had my general, you know, fighting up to like 5 units of Lone Sword Ashigaru before. And in stand-up fight, they all routed. It was actually pretty sweet. I wish I got a replay on that one. But as you see, this battle's about to wrap up. Took out what was left of his cav, took out those Naginata Warrior Monks, and now he's just got this single unit of Naginata Warrior Monks that's getting ready to rout. And my matchlocks, what's all 22 of them left. pretty much ended the fight right there. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm going to pop up the results. Alright, so here you can see the results of the battle. I deployed 1,680 troops, and my opponent deployed 1,626. Very close battle. I had 1,341 losses, and he had 1,444. Probably one of the tougher opponents I've played in a while, but hope you guys enjoyed, and see you next time.